Okay, so next up, we're kind of going to break down a little bit more of what is actually happening during a slump. Okay, now think about when you are slumping. What are you thinking about? Like, are you telling yourself like I can't hit this guy? I suck right now. Like, man, I'm 0 for 4, I'm 0 for 5. I'm 1 for my last 10. Man, I got to get a hit here. Right? Likely, more than likely, if you're anything like me and like any other ball player I've ever talked to, you're going to say similar things. You're going to be thinking similar things and saying similar things to yourself. How do you feel when you are saying those things? Does it make you feel loose and relaxed and confident? No. You're going to be feeling tight, tense, nervous, anxious. Okay? Those feelings, right, are going to affect how you act, how you move, how you make decisions. So this is called the think, feel, act loop. If we think a thought, we feel there's a physiological response in the body. What we feel in the body is going to affect how we act, how we move, decisions we make. Those decisions that we make can lead to an outcome. The outcome can reinforce the thought. So we are creating a negative loop that is actually what your slump is. Your slump is a negative mental loop. Now, it's not just mental, your physical is attached. Okay, so on a side note here, dividing physical and mental is incorrect. The only reason that we do that is to make sense of it and to categorize it. There is no separating mental and physical. They are one and the same. It's like having a car without the driver. If we're talking about performance here, a car is worthless without someone driving it, right? So our body needs a driver. Our mind is the driver. Without the driver, you cannot control it. Take a car that's sitting in a showroom, nobody in it. Okay, great, cool to look at. That's about it. But now let's say you put a driver in the seat, a professional driver, like a NASCAR driver. Now all of a sudden the potential of that car, what it can do, goes through the roof because it has a mind. It has someone behind the wheel. Okay, so our bodies are the same way. What good is our body without our mind? You cannot separate the two. Okay, so in this loop, how you think affects how you feel, act, and then how the result that you get reinforces the original thought. So here's an example. I suck right now. I can't hit this guy. Thought, okay? Feeling, tight, tense, nervous, anxious, butterflies in the belly. Action, bad swings, bad at-bats, okay? Results, not good, bad results, okay? Bad results reinforces your original thought. It all started with the thought, I suck, and it ended with an out or a bad at-bat, and then now that reinforces the thought. And you're like, see, I suck. And so every time you complete this loop, you give it speed. It becomes the snowball effect. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So this loop can go faster and faster and faster, so fast that you are unable to do anything about it. And then what happens? You square up a ball. You hit a ball in the gap or a homer or whatever, and all of a sudden, that loop is snapped. Why? You started thinking differently. You responded differently to that, getting that hit. That changed how you felt. Because you started thinking differently, you started feeling different. Because you started feeling different, which would be more loose, relaxed, you let the pressure off. Now your at-bats, your swings and your at-bats get better. When your swings and at-bats get better, you start getting better results. Now all of a sudden, you create more of like a confidence loop. There's no negative thought to reinforce. If anything, you could say, well, man, I'm the best hitter in the world right now. And then you walk up and you feel like you're the best hitter in the world. Then you take good swings and have good at-bats like you're the best hitter in the world. Then you get much better results, right? And then now all of a sudden, those results reinforce that original thought. I'm the best hitter in the world. Yeah, I must be. Right? And now you've created a new loop and now you can go on your tear. So now you're in the summer. Right? Slumps, we're in the cold, we're in the winter, dead of the winter. Okay? The slump is a psychological and physiological loop that we get stuck in, almost like a current pulling us under. So thinking, feeling, acting, and then reinforcing the original thought is what can get us into our own loop. Okay, how do we snap this loop? Once we recognize we are in a negative loop, right? A think, feel, act, reinforcement loop, we need to be able to snap it. Okay, so once you recognize it, snap it, take a deep breath to just stand back from the loop. Separate yourself from the loop. Observe the loop happening. Okay? Now, we can replace a thought. We can control the next thought. Something to think about. We can control how we carry our body, right? Then we can start to control and we can focus on our process. So thinking, thought, or verbal cue to get you to again create a new cycle, a new loop. Feeling, acting. So for example, I want to snap out of a slump. I'm in that loop right now. Okay, how do I snap out of it? Step back, take a deep breath. Okay, maybe just, I can hit this guy, get a good pitch, put a good swing on it. Okay, now I'm going to carry my body. I'm going to pull my shoulders back, change my body language. Walk up to the plate like I own that plate. And like, I'm going to hit this dude. If he gives me a pitch, I'm all over this thing, right? Almost like a Juan Soto. You can only imagine that, like, all the antics that Juan Soto has is probably similar to kind of what he's thinking in his mind. It's like, ooh, I'm all over it. Ooh, that was a good pitch. Ooh, that was close. You better not make a mistake on the next one. Ooh, I fouled that one off. You better not give me that again. I'm gonna get it. Right? So those kind of thoughts keep you in a more aggressive, a more assertive and aggressive mindset that's going to give you a better chance to put better swings on pitches, make better decisions, and therefore get better results, right? And then those results can just keep flowing back through that confidence loop, okay? Now, again, this is easier said than done, but this is kind of like, and I'm no expert, I'm no psychologist, but all the books and the study and all the things that I do, like this is kind of like basic psychology and like physiology, and how we think affects how we feel. Another example of this would be like in school. If you've ever had, like, most people are deathly afraid of public speaking. And I can totally agree with this. Like, I can talk into the camera and talk into the microphone, but to be in front of an audience is a big difference. But anyways, so if I'm going to talk in front of an audience or a classroom of people about some topic that I don't really care about, I'm going to be nervous. Like, I don't care how much I'm prepared. I'm going to be so nervous. I'm going to be thinking about fumbling my words. I'm going to be thinking about, what if they laugh at me? What if they're like, all these different thoughts are going to go through my mind. And you know what happens? What happens to your stomach? You almost feel sick to your stomach. You can actually make yourself sick through thought. Some people will actually be so nervous that they'll throw up. Me personally, that has not happened. I've felt it at times, but it's never happened. But it can absolutely happen. You can think yourself into being sick. Okay, that is 100% evidence that your mind affects your body, and how your body is feeling in that moment is going to determine how your actions and what you do from there on out. So understand the loop. Think, feel, act, reinforce, right? If you complete the loop in a negative scenario, in a slumping mindset, then you're just going to keep that slump going. That's why slumps continue on sometimes far longer than they need to. Another aspect of this is that your slump, you're focused on yourself, which brings me to my last tip, is change your vocabulary, change how you're talking. Because when you talk about slumping, you're talking about yourself. Remove slump from your vocabulary. Use slump, now that slumps, quote unquote, is just the winter. And the winter is here. The winter is coming for everyone, no matter what. So it's, what will you do to prepare for the winter? What will you do then? You see, for me, in my playing days, I would just simply let winter would take me by storm. Pun intended. How's it going? It would hit me, would blindside me. And then it was like I was surprised that it ever happened. That's ridiculous. That's insanity. We can't let that happen. Recognize the loop. Your thoughts, your feelings, actions, and the reinforcement. Think negative. I can't hit this guy. Feel tense, nervous, equals bad at bats, bad swings, bad results. right? Which reinforces the original thought that I suck. And you're like, see, yeah, I suck. I can't hit this guy. See? And then it just gets worse and worse and worse as the loop goes. It picks up steam. It goes faster and faster, and the thoughts become more and more powerful until it seems like it's the end of the world. And we are in this slump, and we suck, and we question ourselves. We doubt ourselves. We think, why are we even playing baseball? I've been there. I know exactly what you or your kid, whoever's watching this or listening to this, I've been in all of these scenarios, and probably to more extreme than most people. Like I said, my highs were so incredibly high, but my lows were so incredibly low. It gives me quite a broad range of insight here, okay? I know how you feel. And then, of course, how to snap that loop. We got to step back, separate yourself from the loop, take a deep breath, insert a new thought. It'll create a new feeling, carry your body differently, okay? You can control those two things. That's going to help your swings and your at-bats improve. That's going to help your results. And then it's going to feed back through the loop, creating a new positive loop of confidence. And that will help you. It won't guarantee results. It won't guarantee you'll jump right into summer. That's not the point. But what you're going to do is you're going to start competing at a higher level, even when you are not performing your best. And remembering that this is a team game. When you're not performing, someone else is going to pick you up. The whole idea of slumping is selfish. You're thinking about yourself, as you should. There's a right amount of selfishness. But let's use this to our advantage. When we are struggling, let's try to shift our focus away from ourselves and put it out on our team. That will help take the pressure off of you, therefore allowing you to control the next thought, control how you feel, how you carry your body, and therefore improve your swings and improve your at-bats, which will improve your results, which will complete the loop and get you back on track. And to help you with the process of how to create a new loop, I created a free guide, a 3-step release routine that is going to help you do just that. It was created by Dr. Ken Ravizza, author of Heads Up Baseball 2.0. I highly recommend you check that out. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Break it down step by step, how to create that new loop and how to get you dialed back in. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll leave a link in the description below and you can download that guide. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, you can go to ferrantebaseball.net/free guide. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Lets me know that you're enjoying this content and that you want to see more like it.